Ini kan saya pernah ketemu di anu itu ini di
get a few more points. Well, some players, we've got 2 players who have actually going into tomorrow with maximum match points. 24 match points. Wow. Now, I usually ask you how many are on the team. Okay. But you knew there was only one going into this round. So I'm going to ask you a simple yes or no question. Okay. Do we have Verizon at 8-0 yet? I'm going to use a bit of structure here. I don't think you'd ask me this question unless Verizon was undefeated. So I'm going to say there is. Yeah, you see how happy I am. Yeah, Jennifer Parker has got the 8-0 with Verizon. Our other player is Fernando Cifuentes with I-40 at the deck. Because I wasn't taking that seriously. Well, I said I was literally proven wrong. I am very much being proven wrong here. Fernando at 8-0, but I got to point out, Diego Casaraga, 2017 World Champion Diego Casaraga, 7-0-1 with ancient box. No one thought that was going to be the play this weekend. Evidently, Diego's three.
Yeah, I mean, that's one of those decks where if you're winning well, it's really, really hard to, combat it, right? Like Vengeance Collection, having a one-fight Pokemon deals so much damage is just terrifying to be on the receiving end of, especially when it's a former world champion piloting it as well. So he will definitely be a player to watch out for in our day 2. Any other standouts for you on going into day 2?
There's a golden goal at 7-1.
Wow.
Shout out to Aban Ahmed, 7-1 with golden go. There are at least 2 Marine decks that have got 7 wins. And there's at least 2 more Encore that have 7 wins. This is a weird tournament, right? Where we're going to be wrapping up day 1 quickly, right? But one of the things you guys are need to know, this tournament is weird. It's probably weird because we came in, everyone's going, hey, Red Dragon's the best deck. Well, Red Dragon was the most played deck. And Red Dragon was the best deck. So in that regard, it's exactly what we thought. But the 2-8-0 speaker, Robbie Northern Iron Force, a former world champion being a 7-0-1 with ancient box.
Yeah.
Golden Go being on 7 wins. These are things we did not see coming. So we've got the, of course Red Drago's awesome. And then we've got the what?
So what is a fantastic way of putting it. And I would love to see how the what deals itself in day 2 as well. But there's also something else I want to see, and that was our round 8 highlights our replays. There's a little gander in there, so we can just see how much he navigates his way into day 2 here. And yeah, I can tell the table in game 1 minute gone for not really being able to get out the starting gate. Possibly quite good early pressure, and even quite 2 copies of earlier. So even when he did get set off, that time doing the best set up for the Cardinal, really safe one to be able to get it again. This was through this game that was with Mark. They're all going to do these time fences. That's okay to find. This is better than the maybe look at game 2 wrong. Was they able to get out the gates a little bit better this time? Was they able to clarify that miracle for it? But again, once the game grinded down tempo-wise, that just suited Barnes and he was able to. Yeah, Banter takes the victory. And it looks like, you know what? Why don't we hear from our winner? Why don't we go down and have a chat with Chip and Bats?
In this last round, yes, let's give it up for him. Yes, how are you feeling about this getting into day 2?
I feel good. I'm a little embarrassed about kind of messing up game 1, but sometimes you get a little too excited and you have to just kind of go back.
Talk to us about that game. Obviously, I think that's a little bit of a misstep, maybe a little too far ahead in your thought process. What exactly happened with that?
Yeah. I don't know, like on a previous search, I was like, oh, I'm here with my discard deck, I don't remember that. And then just like drew the prime catcher and I completely forgot that I thought that, right? But, I'm still feeling pretty good about it. I put down the crystallization zone where I'm at. I started panicking a little bit, but it worked out. We
kind of composure, right? Because everyone makes mistakes, right? And it's really difficult to play a perfect game in the coaching process. I mean, there's so many little decisions that have to happen. Everyone's going to mess up. Every make a mistake, you got to put yourself in battle back and make sure you
I think after you just play for a while, you kind of just understand it's just gonna happen, and then it doesn't like mess you up as much going forward. So, when I first kind of started going to bigger events, I definitely like get tilted every time I make a mistake, and sometimes things would kind of unravel. But I think if you just play more, you just get used to it.
So you won last year, obviously, with the Community Max. You chose to go with Reggie Drago Game Star as your next choice this year. Last year, you made it through day one. You T-Max. This year, it's a little different system, right? There's no day one, day two. You can't speak to the day two. Talk to us about why did you go with Reggie Drago, which was expected to be the most popular deck of all this event.
Yeah, me and the people I test with have just been playing it for like 4 or 5 weeks at this point. We all like it. We all submitted basically the same 16. So you have a group of people that will test. It kind of just comes together. On the day one, day two format, I kind of made me a little nervous because I like to tinker with my deck, and I like to do that last year. But I think we got the list right. So
Absolutely. So yeah, heading into day number 2 here, you're at 6-1-1 record, pretty solid place to be. There's only 4 rounds of system. Players, anything out there that feels you're hoping to see the meta shares? I'm sure you've seen plenty of what other players have chosen to bring. What are you going to need to avoid to find back-to-back top cuts?
I think the nice thing about my deck is like it's kind of close to 50-50 on everything. So I'm not really too scared of anything, but I don't want to play against Iron Ones anymore because I'm just tired of point flips and if you're like on edge, it kind of ups and downs a lot. So it's okay. Definitely
Low on the fun scale for sure. I'm not going to well, congratulations on getting on today. I think Reggie Drago has what it takes to defend your title of champion.
I don't know about how many, but
Congratulations, fans. It's here for one more time. Our defending world champion looking to make another run to the year. We're going to go back to the basketball at the desk. At least 7 eyeballs in top 5 would take 2. It's just how successful, like we said, the other day, with 8 and got iron balls, looking like the possibility, even a down, that was really good in that one. That's the next one for mine. Naturally, for us, I love seeing the kind of nitty-gritty and the event. I think it's a very horrific way to end day one here as well. Our current world champion, securing his spot in day 2, so every chance that he can defend is very poetic, and I've had the best. It's fun. Remember, records carry over, boys. That means our 8-0 players have a big advantage. Some players are going into day 2 4 rounds with 18 match points. Some players are going into day 2 with 24 match points. That's 2 extra wins before you even start. That is going to be a big advantage. The other big advantage here, but while we're sitting up here on the chat, and Chip's over there doing an interview, we still have some caps left over to round around in our lounge and take us through the end of the day. Let's go and have a chat with the captors in the captain lounge to round out day 1.
All right, thank you, Ross. Yes, we are here to wrap things up for day number 1 at the World Championships. I'm Kyle Pugovic, joined by Kyle, Lou, and Pablo. And it's been quite a day. Been here for quite a while. Tons of exciting matches. I want to go one by one. One key takeaway from first day competition. I will start with you.
Forward Club is really good at Pokemon.
I didn't expect to pass you Tina V-Star.
Fair enough.
So fun.
Pablo?
Pablo, speak to yourself, okay? It's all about a cast of things.
We respect it, but we also don't like it.
What do you want to see? Yeah, one of the decks I hated is that we have so far and take a look at how things have changed as we go through this birthday competition. It's been crazy. There's been lots of different decks going on. We've had so many players, so many accomplished players with long histories in the TCG championships. We had 13 two-time world champions, one multi-time world champion. Here we can see some of those players are keeping their focus alive. Here Diego Castroga, of course, one of those world champions that brought forward because of the world champion this weekend. Kyle, 30 players in this graphic that stand out to you as people to watch for.
I mean, honestly, just the fact that so many younger players that are performing at this level. Isaiah Bradner, Ryan Tamuccio, Grant Shen, phenomenal names that just barely peaking at 20 years old or whatever. They've already made a name for themselves in the Masters. Looking to continue players. We could definitely be talking about any of those players.
I'm happy to see Jesse Parker there representing the whole play for Green Rhinos stage. Yeah, it's really cool to see.
Who's that?
Yeah. I need to say that.
I mean, who knows, yeah.
It is.
Is it really? You ever watch it?
That was like yes or a no.
Diego and his head, legendary head, I'm sure we'll see tomorrow. So be sure to tune in tomorrow for day 2 here at Pokemon World Championships. We are going to start at 9 a.m. here. And that's 12 p.m. Pacific. Whatever time zone you're in, you can figure out when it starts. It's 9 a.m. here in Hawaii. And we don't have.
I'm mapping. It's working.
Have you figured it out yet?
It sounds right.
Okay.
Oh, you're not starting to
Be as early as I need to be, okay?
But yeah, obviously the competition's going to heat up tomorrow. There's going to be further and four Swiss rounds, I believe, and then we go to. So maybe not strictly a top 8. We'll play it all the way down to the finals tomorrow. So those are the high stakes matches. We have a lot of crazy stuff today, but tomorrow we people start playing. History books, establish their legacies. See, two-time world champion or somebody becoming world champion. Their journey really kick into high gear. We do have some fun stuff going on throughout the weekends, different promos and distributions. So make sure you stay on top of those as you're watching throughout the weekend. We have all sorts of fun stuff going on throughout the weekend. We have different distributions for TCG, VG, Go, and Unite. You can get that special, here you go, Pokemon Go, Twitch drops, you can get all sorts of awesome stuff. We heard earlier this morning, all sorts of cool stuff there. You get a single eye, you get all sorts of different fun stuff, Stardust, all that cool stuff. Yeah, for day 2, it's even going to ramp up. Look at all the stuff you can get.
I don't have any of that stuff, and I do want that stuff.
Yeah.
Sign me up.
Yeah, be sure to watch Pokemon Go. And also for Pokemon Unite, you can get this Platinum Gengar Boost emblem with that gift code WCS 2024. Looks pretty cool. But that is not all for Pokemon Unite. There is additional Twitch drop for that as well. We can take a look at what's up for VG. Anybody excited for Sylveon?
Hey, my daughter is. Her favorite Pokemon.
There we go. This was World's winning team last year for VGC. So you can get that Sylveon using that code Sleep Talk Worlds. But for TCG folks, let's take a look at what you can get in TCG Live. Twitch drops, you can get deck box, sleeves, coin that are themed around the World Championships, as well as some Shroud of Fable, booster packs, and some other cards in the game. So you just get that for watching. The rest of the weekend, and here you go. This special illustration rare Petrarunt EX. Put in that code Outburst Worlds 24, and you know what? I think Fezandipity EX is the card from Charlotte Fable we don't expect to see the most, but players like Diego, people playing Ancient Box, Petra EX is showing up at the World Championship, so this new Charlotte Fable expansion is making a big difference at the World Championships. All right. Any last thoughts as we sign off for tomorrow? Kyle, we'll start with you.
Please don't be on the only, of course, there's plenty of them out there who can do this playing, but it doesn't need to be.
We'll see. Boo, any closing thoughts?
I'm just excited to be here, to be a caster as well, and I'm excited to get into our day two.
Absolutely. And Pablo, anything from you?
I mean, I'm excited to see what can go toe against Triple Driver. We are seeing a lot of decks that perhaps were not as expected pull through and make it at the first minute time that they want. So I'm really excited to see what can happen.
And I'm excited to see some of these big player matchups as we head into the final rounds tomorrow. We could potentially get a rematch between Tor Rekla and Vance Kelly in day two. That would be exciting. All right, that's going to wrap it up for us here on day one of the Pokemon World Championships. Thanks everybody for watching. Be sure to tune in tomorrow and Sunday to watch the rest of the action.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Pokemon Red Card Game World Championship from Hawaii. From the Atlas, wrap it up your head. Take care. Oh my goodness.
It's only going to get better from here.
Point matchups. Broadcast from Hawaii. And then we see the KO with the Variety.
You want to grin the grin towards the rest of it.
Yeah, and that is what this game will likely come down to. There is the flip and
Andrew Hedrick has really only been playing in person since 2022. And not only that, but was a two-time regional champion in the 2023 season, as well as taking down a regional champion this season in 2024, recently in Indianapolis.
Yeah, we have basically very contrasting players. Stefan, a long-time player. We heard Fabian say he's been friends with him since he was 10 years old, and two-time NAIC champion looking for that repeat. OCIC finalist as well, and Lille regional champion. So Stefan having a plethora of records, a huge career in Pokemon, and Andrew taking the game by storm when we came back in 2022. So it's really a clash of the titans here.
That's a perfect way to put this, the clash of the titans. Will Stefan Ivanov be able to take down his championship title in a three-peat, as he said up on stage, a three-time NAIC champion to add to that nice little list of accomplishments there? Or you know, this explosive player here, not only in deck, but explosive on the scene. Andrew Hedrick be able to take this championship title, bring home that gold Pikachu with a long list of accomplishments, even being somewhat new to the game.
Yeah, very young player, very young in the game as well to mention, and I think this is Andrew's biggest accomplishment today. Winning regionals, of course, has a lot of prestige added to it, but you cannot compare that to the crowd that we have today. The stakes, everything to play for at NAIC. It's also the last tournament of the season before the World Championship, so much at stake. The highest point of his career. Can he get that title?
Yeah, this is going to be huge for both of our players. You know, they look like they're in some comfy clothes, they're drinking some water, they're prepping for this game. But like I said, it's going to be a long one. There's a lot of intricate things that happen here in this matchup for both of our players. But like Stefan even mentioned on stage in that interview, the first couple of turns are going to be so important for both of these players, and that truly is going to map out how these games go for them. And it's going to be a little bit of scary. I'm already on the edge of my seat heading into this first matchup between these players because it's going to be a huge determination to see what happens in the rest of these matchups. But you can guarantee both of these players have definitely assessed the list, assessed all of their outs here. Andrew Hedrick already saying, I feel confident heading into this matchup. His friend saying that, you know, he's an innovative player, he's a focused player. He's known in our NA region for going 9-0 too many times to count at this point, back-to-back regional championships, but this is his highest accomplishment yet, being a finalist here at NAIC of 2024. Will he be able to make that last step and take things down to become the champion, or will Stefan Ivanov stay in his way and become a three-time NAIC champion, holding a record that I don't think anyone is going to be able to catch up to anytime soon.
Yeah, I mean, we know for Drexel have 5 international titles. They come from a variety of regions. However, Stefan would be the first time ever to have a roster from a single region, which is really amazing. And I love what Fabian mentioned earlier. There's so much at stake, right, for both players. Literally every single light in the room is on them. However, when you come down to it, you're playing against a person, they're playing with the same cards as you are, right? So no matter where you're playing at, this could be the final of a League Cup or a League Challenger or the final of NAIC. What matters is this card drawn, the starting hand. That's what's going to determine the success that either player has today.
Yeah, the skill level here is off the charts. I'm sure both of these players are going to be treating it as if, you know, yeah, we're sitting on a giant international stage here. My face is up right next to me on this ginormous screen, but I have to focus on my game, focus up to what my strategies are, and make sure all of this works out for me to be able to hopefully win this and take that championship title. Not to mention, there's also just a casual $10,000 on the line here as well. Let's take a look at these prize cards. You can hear the crowd already because these prize cards, what do you think about those, Pablo?
Yeah, the Psychic Energy prize, that's not good news for Stefan. Reading for Ninja Flow, a key card early on, and Forest Experiment prize for Andrew. Palpad as well, very key card to help protect against the disruption that Stefan will be trying to do with Iodo and the boss's orders, and even the Iron Thorns, which I think we can talk about it now. There's a few Twilight Mastery cards that are very important that Iron Thorns can shut down Psychic Embrace if Andrew finds himself in a vehicle and not able to use Iron Hand Ziggs effectively in the early game. Stefan has the help of Monkey Fury and also has Flutter Mate and Klefki in his deck to slow down those flower selecting. So key cards being prized, those energies will definitely hurt Stefan, especially because they're at the very top of the prize cards as well.
Yeah, usually our players draw their prize cards from the bottom up, so unless we see something that mixes them up, that's usually how it goes here. So that can be challenging going into this game for Stefan here, but we'll have to see how this works out. Definitely, as you said, a lot of different ability Pokemon that we're going to see come into play in this matchup potentially as well. We have a fist bump. We're underway here in our Masters Finals here at the North America International Championship, and we're going to get started here on Stefan's side. We saw the dice roll, it was the heads, and Stefan's going to be going first for us here. Starting us off with that Nest Ball. Cresselia is going to be the active Pokemon to start us off as well.
Yeah, Stefan gonna be very thorough with his price checking just to make sure he knows what resources he can use throughout the game and what resources he cannot plan around. And I'm sure he's gonna be eyeing up that Flutter Mane or the Klefki especially as something to retreat into. Yeah, we're both ideally we want both potentially, but especially that Klefki. That Klefki shuts down Flower Select, shuts down Iron Bundle as well, and also shuts down Radiant or Ninja. So can Andrew overcome that Klefki lock? That could be troublesome, and Stefan could choose to establish that even before a single pulse.
Yeah, we'll have to see what the strategy is here for Stefan. Andrew Hedrick, as he said, you're playing this Turbo Lost Box build. So it is built to go fast here. Stack up all of these cards into the Lost Zone and be able to Mirage Bait those energies out of your deck. Choose who you want to attack with. We're talking behind the scenes, Pablo, as we go through this deck search here for Stefan about how it really is heavily reliant on this Iron Hands EX for Andrew Hedrick in this matchup. We saw Andrew play yesterday as well. I mean, Andrew Hedrick's had to go through so many Gardevoir at this point throughout this tournament. So let's talk a little bit about his strategy going into this matchup and what we're going to be seeing on the right side of Gardevoir.
Yeah, I mean, we saw Andrew use that Iron Hands very effectively, attacked 3 times, and that was pretty much it in the semifinals. So it's all about Iron Hands. Can Andrew get that to get that powered up as quickly as possible? Can Stefan deal with it as quickly as possible? And I think I love this Klefki from Stefan because that will definitely slow down Andrew's whole deck. We see Stefan who, why don't you take some of his deck, because I think he was double checking those energies. He's not going to be happy seeing 3 of his 7 energies being prized.
Yeah, exactly. That's something you can't really miss because you definitely keep track of those energies. So Stefan is going to take a second, take some notes here, make sure to notate that because our players do have to keep track of every single resource. So making sure to keep track of that on the side here, keep track of what's in the deck and what is at stake. But yeah, as you said, Pablo, Klefki is now in the active position here, which means Mischievous Lock is definitely extra mischievous today because that is exactly what you want to see as your Stefan. Locking down basic Pokemon abilities from Andrew Hedrick's side. And Andrew Hedrick does have this Turbo Lost Box build, but it's not as turbo if you're not able to get those cards out and into the Lost Zone. We're starting off from Andrew Hedrick's side of the field as well with a nest ball here. So looking for the deck, writing down these prize cards is often what you're going to see from these top level players because every single resource matters and Andrew Hedrick is going to take care of all of those.
Yeah, and I think Andrew is going to be very happy seeing the boss's orders this prize. Andrew has very few ways to get this Klefki out of the active spot. It's Prime Catcher and boss's orders. One of those resources is no longer there. No, Iron Bundle doesn't work because it's a basic Pokemon, and Klefki, unlike Flutter Mane, shuts down abilities no matter whether it's in the active or on the bench. So that's going to be really difficult for Andrew to work on. And we saw how Stefan, even though he's playing a Gardevoir deck, he prioritizes that Klefki. He knows that's how he brings Andrew to his pace. Yeah, he gets to control the tempo. He will be able to slow things down until he sets up. And that's when we're going to see him start taking prizes now. That will allow Andrew to build up the Lost Zone, but turns out a Turbo Lost Zone deck is not as turbo as you would like it to be if you don't have cards in your Lost Zone.
Yeah, if you miss those first couple of turns, it's really rough, but exactly as you said, the Flutter Mane is a little different. This Klefki is a lot more fierce than that Flutter Mane's ability as well in this matchup. And we were talking about it yesterday. I was saying, you know, we didn't really see the Klefki that much, but it wasn't applicable in the matchups that we watched Stefan go through. But this time around, it totally is, and that's why you see it valued so heavily here. Andrew Hedrick is going to get his Iron Hands EX out onto the field as of now. Did you take a look at the hand at all, Pablo, what we're working with for the rest of this turn?
Yeah, I don't think it's too great. I couldn't see a colorless experiment there because, like, of course, you can build the Lost Zone, but that's only if you have the right cards, right? The Vacuum, the colorless experiment, gives you one color, so it's right pretty well. And just because you're playing Lost Box deck doesn't mean you automatically start your colors every single time, right? So, and now you can't dig for it because Confade doesn't work at this moment. So we might see Andrew manually power up this Iron Hands one turn at a time. Has the Grenade as well, has Iron Bundle, but none of those abilities work at this point in time. That's why Klefki is so much better than Flutter Mane against Lost Zone as we see the pass from Andrew.
Yeah, we were called Iron Bundle the bundle of joy yesterday because it brought so much utility to Andrew Hedrick. Being able to bust up another Pokemon. Of course, you don't get to choose, but that's it. It's just going to be a pass here from Stefan back over to Andrew Hedrick's side. Now, an energy attachment, a pass back over here. What are we working with?
Okay, so with nothing, generally neither player has anything good, and I did just will be able to get a fresh hand, but this will also give Andrew a fresh hand. So this is like the friendship iota, if you will. Both players get a reset. Stefan looking for some rounds, Hedrick looking for some whole resist to build up the lock zone, but at this point, if you're manually powering up, Iron Hands, that's good enough. Especially when your opponent has it collected but isn't doing anything else.
Yeah, we need to be able to get somewhere, and in that hand now off of that arrow, we do see a bright pink card. Do we want to talk about that a little bit, Pablo, as far as the ace spec for Stefan?
Yeah, Hyper Aroma is a very cheap card for Stefan. Will help in setting up, but there's no point in getting through stage one. We only have one basic Pokemon that can evolve, right? So not as effective right now, and doesn't have the understand that the other cardboard players had. So gonna not be able to disrupt Andrew as much as we would like, but see another pass for Andrew. Getting those attachments though, that Iron Hand's slowly becoming the big threat that it is.
Oh yeah, it's a huge threat of beefy Pokemon as far as retreat cost goes, and I'm sure pretty heavy as well, as well as the requirements for each of the schemes as well. But Andrew Hedrick is slowly getting through these attachments here. That's what we need to see. And Stefan not really able to build this as much as we would like to see, especially from a Gardevoir deck here, but at least we have some more to work with in this Buddy Buddy Poppin that is being brought out of the deck now off of this Arvin. We're also going to get a chance to snag a tool card as well, thanks to that Arvin.
Yeah, now that Klefki is generally Stefan's MVP at this point. If it wasn't for Klefki, Stefan would have been a lot of trouble, but he's been able to completely shut down Andrew's whole strategy, and now he's been able to find one route, he'll be able to buff it for a couple others. So Stefan slowly but surely building up his field, and if he's able to immediately deal with that Iron Hand, at this point potentially he can deal with it before it even becomes a threat, which would be ideal, but Stefan faces another issue, the fact that 3 of his 7 psychic energies are part of him. He has 4 to work with and might need to rely a lot on Monkey Fury, but his energy management needs to be perfect.
Yeah, we saw so much in our Gardevoir EX matchups yesterday, how pivotal these energies are to your strategy. You're stacking up the psychic energy into your discard pile to be able to psychic embrace them out with that Gardevoir EX ability onto your board state, manipulate damage counters, get these attacks off on your small, low HP Pokemon that hit for a ton of damage here. But we also saw Gardevoir matchups as well where the energy ended up getting stuck on the board state if you're not able to get it into that discard pile and it's stuck around your board. We're going to see this first refinement for Leah here for Stefan.
First and only refinement for now. We do have all 2 other rolls, 2 lives in hand. That Hyper Aroma is always a good card to get you set up, but those rolls just got places to not all quite yet. But Stefan slowly but surely setting up. Andrew Hedrick slowly but surely powering up. Andrew only plays 8 energy in his deck. He's already found 3 of them, but still no color, still nothing. He's basically in top deck mode at this point, and Stefan has about to pop up with triple kill.
Exactly. Andrew Hedrick being mischievously locked down here by that Klefki. We're back over to Stefan now. We're going to see the second evolution into Aprilia to get another couple of cards into the hand off of these refinements. Discard a card, draw 2. It's well known what this Gardevoir does here for our players.
Yeah, now Stefan, even though he tries 3 energies, already found 3 of the 4 available to him, so that's really good news. I generally think Stefan could be the one to get the first prize card, which is generally sometimes unheard of. And even though Stefan could break the Klefki lock this turn, Andrew has no other up phase, so he won't be able to build the loss zone as his hand is still a little mediocre at this point in time.
Yeah, I mean, we have not seen a single card in the loss zone. This is a lost box deck. That is what it is built around, getting those cards into the loss zone to unlock other potential cards that are on your deck. Mirage, Grammarly, Save Alive, all of those cards that filter into Andrew Hedrick's strategy that are unavailable as long as that boss zone stays empty here. Whereas Stefan slowly setting things up here. We talked so much about how Stefan was going to have this disruption here, not only from 4 Iona being in the deck to disrupt Andrew Hedrick's giant hands that build up over time, selecting a ton of cards usually, but also from that club heap as well. Arvin is a fantastic card to continue to pick and choose what you grab, what resources you use for particular turns here, and that bravery charm as well as an ultra ball is going to come out for the card.
Will got able to give Stefan the coveted card for EX. That's one way he can start applying pressure, getting ahead in the price starts, and also not be vulnerable to that Andrew very much from the Iron Hands. Now, Andrew could utilize the Iron Bundle to send the Gardevoir to the bench, but Stefan, if he places that Bravery Charm on the Clicker Celia, that would allow him to defend the Andrew very much, which I think is what Stefan needs. As long as Stefan doesn't allow Andrew to take multiple prices for that Andrew very much, he's got to run away with this one.
Yeah, Andrew very much a fantastic move there, allowing you to take an additional bonus card off of a knockout, but it's only 120 base damage. Stefan, just a pass here back to Andrew Hedrick. We're going to see the Pokestop come down and be rolled here. Mirage Gate going into the hand, as well as that Buddy Pocket.
Yeah, so now we might be able to see more conflict, but Stefan playing it very slow. Andrew playing it very slow, not on purpose. Stefan taking his time, making sure he has the perfect step, the perfect response, maybe digging for the boss's orders, plus the driftwood into knocking out the Iron Hands that Andrew has dedicated so many resources to. Why see some action finally here happen?
Yeah, we can see some action. Indeed, the strategy is definitely playing out here for Stefan as we see these refinements getting this hand stacked up. And there's so many cards in this hand right now, Pablo. So many cards for Stefan to play with. This is how Gardevoir EX works. You stack a ton of cards in your hand so that you have whatever strategy you want to work out for your turn. Gardevoir EX can come out eventually, power up these attackers for you, but Stefan is taking it nice and slow here to make sure that these final couple of turns can be taken in all of these prize cards. We're going to go to Stefan before Andrew Hedrick is even able to get any cards in the loss zone.
Stefan has everything, yet nothing. Like, he has so much to work with. He can finally start going on the offensive, but he's missing that Multiduri, he's missing that Darkness energy, he's missing that crucial fourth energy, doesn't have the ball, so even though he has like a million cards in his hand, he still can't do what he would like to do, which is take down this Iron Hands preemptively. He's the one that gets the first 2 prizes, with Andrew still at 0 cards in the loss zone. That almost is an insurmountable advantage for him, but I think still limited. He has the balls to put him out that last
Yeah, Iron Hands EX 230 HP, so we're going to have to be doing enough damage here from Stefan's side to make sure to get that out. Ooh, we do see the Flutter Mane come out onto the field now, Pablo.
Yeah, Flutter Mane gonna be a good Pokemon to attack with. It's a lot more offensive. That lefty will maintain some sort of luck, but will unlock Iron Bundle and also Radiant Ranger as options for Andrew. Now, Flutter Mane does do enough damage with X-Ball, but will also have 6 damage counters on it after his normal Kiguri, and even with the Bravery Charm, would still be in range for the Amp very much. So, very interesting decision here by Stefan.
Yeah, it's going to be this Flutter Mane being charged up here, 90 HP base. It's going to take 60, of course, for that Psychic Embrace Accelerator comes down onto the Flutter Mane in the position. Is going to take the knockout there with that Hex Throw, dealing 90 damage and then 2 damage counters to Andrew Hedrick's field as well. We're going to go on to Iron Hands. It's going to be that Iron Bundle sword that's in active position.
Still no playable cards, energy gone, finds 2 good resources, but no color is still in his hand, can't find that energy. He's in a little bit of trouble. If he uses Iron Bundle to activate his large selecting, Stefan can very safely promote part of the area and be completely safe, especially with the Professor Jury in his hand. So very well done by Stefan, covering all the bases and making sure he continues to slow down Andrew's Lost Zone deck. Not so too proactive.
Yeah, I mean, with those two Pokemon shutting it down, that is for sure, Pablo. We talked about this strategy being such a bold one and a smart one here from Stefan, because the Iron Bundle, you don't get to choose who your opponent promotes. They get to choose. So if you have two Pokemon that are shutting down those abilities on Andrew Hedger's side, one when just shutting down the active Pokemon and the other shutting down the whole field of basic Pokemon abilities in that Bucky, that is tough, and you're not able to switch around and be able to activate your flower selections on those Pumpay to start getting those cards over. Boss's Orders and the Polar Experiment at the bottom of the prize card now for Andrew Hedger. A quick shuffle around there from that Hisuian Heavy Ball that allows you to get basic Pokemon out of your prize cards and be replaced into your prize cards after.
Friend finally able to find a third vessel, get that fourth psychic energy that he's been missing so much. Now, 3 energies are essentially stuck in the active, can't retreat paying more than 1 on that flutter range. So, as we mentioned at the beginning, the energy management for Stefan, seeing he unlocks those energies has to be perfect.
It is huge there, all of those energy kept in the prize cards for Stefan. Hurting just a little bit here, but we're still making it work over on this side of the field. Refinement drawing into an earthen vessel here for Stefan.
Now, I would love to see Stefan play that. Professor Turo pick up the Cresselia, get them into very low, transferring damage, making sure he's able to keep up the pressure. Stefan in a really fantastic position. He's still roasted up, but he's even using refinement on Iono.
Yeah. Yeah, no, a disruption card there. Hit the discard pile for that refinement, drawing into 2 more. We do see that Professor Turo in hand, and Stefan is actually going to use it here.
Yeah, gonna pick up the Cresselia, gonna bench the Multigur, you're gonna attach that Darkness Energy, get the KO down, continue to pile up that. Can't put it at exactly enough range to be knocked out by Gardevoir EX, so much happening here. Stefan playing perfectly, that Clef keep putting in all the work. It's not gonna take any prizes, but it shut down Andrew completely.
Yeah, we've been going slow here from Stefan's side, but it is not unfortunate going slow. This is control here from Stefan as far as the board state completely. I mean, we're set up here. The Flutter Mane is ready to go to put damage counters on the field. The Monkey Dory now has that Adrenaline ability unlocked here to do 3 damage counters over to Andrew Hedges' side of the field as well, thanks to that darkness energy attached to it, which is very easy to do when that Gardevoir EX is able to accelerate all of your psychic energy there from the deck. We've seen the Pokestop here now for Andrew Hedger, Pulver's Experiment, as well as an additional Pokestop going into the discard pile, but a switch card in hand.
Yeah, Pulver is not where it needs to be for, and Andrew has so many cards in his hand. Stefan not bothering to Iona, but Andrew generally cannot do anything at this point. No energy to at least ask you very much to do something. He's missing that crystal energy, and it's gonna pass once again.
Yep, just counting all of these cards that are in the hands. But this is tragic to see here. Just a lone Radiant Greninja in the active position here for Andrew Hedrick, and Iron Hands EX on the bench with 40 damage on it. And you see Stefan starting off again.
Yeah, so in Heavy Ball, gonna confirm that beyond those energies are, I think we're gonna there's probably an inconsequential card to see it hit the discard box. Immediately Stefan hoping he can find a psychic energy soon here, and unfortunately, they are trapped. He can attack with Gardevoir EX's turn to knock out. Yeah, he can attach the Darkness Energy, retreat. You'll have exactly 2 energy available to then go boss, knock out the Iron Hands, and pretty much seal the deal.
Yeah, exactly. 4 damage counters on into that Iron Hands EX. But Gardevoir EX, the Miracle Force move here, hitting 190 damage. All of the energy being placed down. Of course, 1 darkness attachment for the turn.
Orders.
2 psychic energy from the discard pile onto the Gardevoir EX, fully charging it up. Boss's Orders on that Iron Hands EX. This is brutal here, Pablo.
Even healing the damage from the corner many needs to continue the lock and continue the pressure. Stefano, four prizes off in this game one of the final. And Andrew finally completes the Aldous' experiment, but is it too late?
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty late in the game here. Stefan Eisenhoff, only 2 prize cards less to take in for Hedrick playing into the Lost Box deck, and that single card in the Lost Zone access now, setting up. I mean, how many turns in our game? It is a long time that we've been in this game, Pablo, and nothing is happening here for Andy Hedrick. The giant threat of that Iron Hands EX wiped off the field with Gardevoir EX. I mean, Gardevoir fans out there cheering, Turbo Lost Box fans in shambles at the moment.
Now, this is something we saw Andrew do yesterday. He's going to make sure that Stefan needs to take all 6 prizes to win this game. Then he's going to try to win a game 2 as well, as he knows he has an advantage in case we run out of time. Because his deck is a lot more 2-1, a lot more aggressive than Stefan's one. If that Clefty has anything to say, Andrew will not be able to do that. So we'll have to see if there's any adaptation to how he dealt with Gardevoir in the previous 2 instances in top 8.
Yeah, definitely. There's very intricate games that happened yesterday here, but where do you think Andrew Hedrick goes from here? I mean, tons of cards in the hands here. We now have 2 Pumpe on the bench here. Pokestop is being rolled to get even more cards into the hands.
I mean, I generally don't think Andrew has any chance of comeback. 0 cards in Lost Zone, Sableye very far away from being able to utilize the color, just getting played. That's going to get us 2, that's going to get us maybe a Cramorant attack. Maybe with so many cards in hand, we could get to 7 and power up Bloodwinners or utilize Bloodwinners Luna, which is often played the card voice as Professor 2 already. So I think what we are seeing now is we're going through the motions as Andrew tries to gain an advantage with his 2 Lost effect. Hopefully there's no Clefty Lock and he's able to deal with it better in the next game.
Yeah, exactly. That's what we're seeing here indeed, Pablo. Going through the motions here, advancing the board for sure from Andrew Hedrick, but to what extent at this point when we are so far into our game 1 between these players. We have 2 cards now in the Lost Zone, thanks to that Forces experiment. 3 of those cards going to hands, of course, as well. Counting up the energy of cards in the discard pile here with Hedrick, and then that switch card going to come into play, and that Compe is now finally inactive.
Yeah, now it isn't bad that Stefan's best interest if he knows that time is of the essence to basically just draw, attack, and immediately go quick to make sure that if things come down to game 3, if he feels he has a big advantage thanks to the Clefty, make sure he has more than enough time to win or concede a quick game 2 and win a long game 3. But time is of the essence here for Stefan. It's generally in both players' best interest to make sure that they are very aware of that.
Yep, we saw the switch there into that Compe, of course, the same. So they're both rotated now to enact those flower selectings here. Now we're stacking up the Lost Zone finally here for Andrew, bringing us up to 4, a Buddy Poffin, a switch bar, and a next ball going into the Lost Zone. Gone forever.
Yeah, I believe there's actually 5 cards in the Lost Zone, 2 from Colorado, 3 from Compe, so 1 goes back could activate that basket and could actually allow Andrew to attack the Freedom Ninja and knock out the 2 Curias that are on the bench. Could also choose to knock out the 2 ability denial Pokemon, so plenty of options here for Andrew as we see that Lost Vacuum get played and bring us up to 7, from 0 to 7.
Yeah. I mean, that is the turbo aspect of this deck indeed, Pablo. That Lost Vacuum for starting that stadium there, Forces Experiment, joining Lost Vacuum in the Lost Zone here. Now we are up, unlocking this Mirage Gate with 7 cards in the Lost Zone. 2 different types of energy being drawn out of the deck, placed onto this Radiant Greninja to start powering up that Moonlight Shuriken move. We just need an additional water energy.
Stefan did focus so much on denying that there's no mana to protect his bench. Maybe he left himself a little bit exposed, but because Andrew had to play a Forces Experiment here, makes Stefan still have like a million cards in his hand, so he's going to be able to cover those routes, going to be able to set them up again, even bench them out if he wants to protect them further. And this would be great for Andrew if the price count was not 6 to 2.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, just about a million cards there to work with.
Yeah, more or less.
Of course. Well, we see that final switch here for the turn. That Moonlight Shuriken is going to be utilized on this Radiant Greninja, wiping off these Pokemon Pokemon from the field for Stefan. We're going to see the first 2 prize cards going down from Andrew Hedrick.
Yeah, very nicely done by Andrew, making sure you get the most out of that one turn he had with abilities finally available to him. All those concretes coming in clutch, the Culver Stealth coming in clutch. And now we have to see, we have to make sure, as the fan, how do you secure this game, right? You do know that there's probably no Pokemon that can KO your Superform, and the only one that Gardevoir can KO with the Iron Bullet, Iron Hands, or the Blood Moves, so how do you have a plan against those? You should be fine. You should be able to take your last 2 prize cards against any of these low HP Pokemon that you have.
Exactly. Only 2 prize cards left to take, and all of those Pokemon are right for the taking here from Stefan's side of the field. We talked about this so much yesterday, Pablo, that when you're in a state like this, you're leading so heavily in a game, you still have to make sure you stay composed and you play out all of the options you have to line things up for future turns that can potentially happen. You want to make sure you're planning for really the worst case scenario. That way, if it does happen, you're well prepared and you can secure a win in one of these games.
And now Stefan will need to make sure that he's also protected against the potential rock stand, right? That's a card that actually can utilize to disrupt and go back up here that will put him in a situation. So this is a chart where those cards that you have accumulated in your hand, you bring them down from a million to sort of like 4 or 5, just to make sure that if they're getting put back into the deck, they're not going to be punished for it.
Yeah, exactly. Those are all of the things that are being thought about here from Stefan's side of the field. That Mana Feed is in the hands here. So you have Ball being played to just shuffle around really again. I think you have to shuffle the prize cards when you play it, right?
Yeah. So it's probably an inconsequential action at this point.
Oh yeah, isn't it real second? Like,
Yeah.
shuffle of those 2 sidekicks there, put it back up top. But still have to go through all of these actions
We're seeing Stefan debating whether to bench that mana with that situation. How to if you want to make something preemptively alley up, perhaps make sure you have any response and are able to get that easier mana protection. Just to really value that also happens for you constantly played but boxing is not a power that could is in a little bit of trouble. It doesn't have all the energies to work with in the disco round. You should get some standards to do, running drip, way recharging multi as easy. So closing out the game could be a little difficult for Stefan from this point on.
Exactly. I mean, even when you have such a lead, you cannot have your opponent at all here, especially with one of these attacks like Turbo Wasp Box. I mean, you can have these attackers coming down here and taking a game off of you real quick, and you even have any sort of slowdown on your side of the field.
And we're going to see that adrenaline power ability.
Come on, get going!
Now, the monkey there, you're going to transfer those energies, heal off the question potential, and you're not going to heal off the Gardevoir yet, which is perfectly fine because Stefan knows that there's nothing threatening it, at least for now. So then the counters onto that save line. That's how Stefan could get his last goodbye for just using Adrenaline while he's doing the next 2 turns. And I don't know if Andrew will be able to do anything about that.
Yeah, we can't stop it, unfortunately. I guess unless you have the card to stop that, but it's not in this case here. Yeah, that adrenaline brain. I mean, we saw it from Stefan yesterday. Came out of nowhere. We saw the double monkey turn as well so many times around. But this Iono is going to be the play here from Stefan for the end of this game.
Yeah, Iono gonna give him 2 cards, trading his 6th card basically out of his hand for only 2 really good cards. I believe he found it really, so it's going to be really impactful. But ultimately did 9 cards and resources for Hedrick. Stefan just needs to attack once more with Miracle Force and he will win this game. So is there any way Hedrick can prevent this? He got some pretty good cards as an Ace Spec already. The Prime Catcher is double Mirage Beats as well. Just a triple hit stuff, but if you have an attacker, he can't get 10 cards in the lost ability to use Sableye and try to trap perhaps the mana field active with the Prime Catcher and start distributing damage. I think that's his best play as he finds Blood Moon, Versaluna, and Boss Disorders in the Flower selected.
Yeah, I mean, well, we're at this point now here, Pablo. Like you said, Stefan just needs to take one more prize card left for Andrew Hedrick. That Blood Moon Ursaluna joining the Lost Zone this time around. 8 cards in Lost Zone now.
Trying to make sure it plans this correctly. There is a universe where it can make a comeback against the Prime Catcher. I'm guessing bringing up for that example that cannot be Miracle Force. I mean, Psychic Embrace to be able to retreat. However, I don't think there's a single energy in the discard box. So pretty much nothing can retreat at this point, with one energy still locked in the prize cards and the other at the bottom of the deck.
Yeah, that is tough. We're going to see the fine picture here from Andrew selecting that vault up into the active position. This campaign, we're going to do this flower selection here, bringing us up to 9 now in the Lost Zone for Andrew. Though it's in his hands to play out all these cards here, trying to put as many obstacles in Stefan's way from taking that last prize card here and taking this first game 1 between these players. Force's Experiment being played now as well. 2 more of those cards going to go into the Lost Zone. Roxanne, Nesball, Pokey here. A couple of cards found off of this Force's Experiment.
I think Andrew has so few cards left in his deck. It's really crazy to think that this is only the second Colors Experiment being utilized this turn. And also, we have now two many cards like these here with nothing but lefty. So now Andrew does have a very interesting decision to make here how to approach this game, how to get the most value off the same line, which Pokemon to target, and probably keep that Roxanne as follow-up, because if he's able to survive a turn, make it fun, not be able to attack, then more disruption and more damage counter placement could actually give Kendrick a solid chance of winning here.
Well, we're going to play this game out entirely of Pablo, and I would expect nothing less from either of these players here. Our Lost Zone is stacked now. All of those cards being gone forever from Andrew's ability to use them, but now we're unlocking a lot more potential here. Once we're up to 10 in the Lost Zone, that Sableye is unlocked for these Lost Box players' decks, but in the deck here right now, we're seeing the selections made off of Super Rock.
Yeah, and preparing his bubble super that he does have in his hand, wants to also give himself access to that Iron Hands in case he's able to use that to accelerate his win condition. We talked about it in the beginning. Iron Hands is enemy number 1.
Exactly.
Just like Lefty is enemy number 1 for Henry. But this Iono, this late game scenario is looking a little tough for Stefan just because he has so many energies.
So it would have been slightly different here, or majorly different, I should say, for Stefan if that was not the case. But you can't control your prize cards, unfortunately. Let's have a sweet heavy ball, I suppose. But Iron Man DX coming back onto the field here. Mirage Gate is going to charge it up instantly after the Super Rods. Mix all of those cards back into the deck here. They're coming back out, being fully charged up now for that. Thank you very much from the Iron Man DX from Andrew Hedrick.
Ooh, looks like Hedrick had a different plan. He's going to try to win this game, try to knock out this long route. Knows that Stefan has a lot of energy locked up on his side of the field, so firing up a Drizzle with a great return and more energies is not going to be easy to accomplish. And also, if this Iron Hand survives with the boss's orders that Hedrick has in his hand, he could actually win the game in the next 2 turns.
Yes.
In the next turn.
Stefan has to get through 230 HP that this Iron Hands DX has now here. Andrew Hedrick going to take some time as well to get through this discard pile on Stefan's side. But yeah, it's coming down to this call over both of our players.
Coming down to the wire, Bruce Stefan has 3 cards to work with. One of them was clearly up the wall. He's going to go down this turn. So nothing survives the hit from the Iron Hands off the bench. I mean, there's plenty of targets rather. There's a bunch of orders. Hedrick also has like 2 cards left in his deck, 4 cards in his hand. So even if you go to your opponent, there's still a very good chance that Hedrick will just be able to find the best score.
Lost back is going to be played first. We do have to see a selection for both of those cards to go into the Lost Zone. Stadium is being eliminated off the field here. Now another card that Stefan will not be able to use on this next turn. That's 2 prize cards down off that Iron Hands EX. 2 prize card knockout. That means it is in Stefan's hands here to take this game or lose the game at this point, Pablo.
Yeah, doesn't have access to Bulbasaur, was always utilized before to take down the Iron Hands. So I don't think he has a way to attack anything on the bench other than Iron Hands. Can he find Baby Pixel? Can he find Screen Tail? That would be another option. He did find the Buddy Buddy Puppet, so if he can arm it for Super Run, he might be able to do this.
Just making sure to look at all of these cards in the hands here, map it out in his head is what Savant is doing right now.
He might be able to. That Arvin should give him Super Run. Buddy Buddy Puppet should give him the... Oh no, Buddy Buddy Puppet can search for Screen Tail, never mind. But this would give him... I don't know, there's so much happening here. Oh, what options does he have? Buddy Buddy Puppet can't search for Screen Tail or Basilia, so actually he can't target that.
Yeah, this is tough. I mean, we've looked through this discard pile now here for Stefan. Now we're holding the deck in hands here, looking through all of these cards. Arvin, of course, able to select a tool card and an item card for Stefan, but is he going to be able to put together the pieces to take this last single prize card?
It's like, one energy short, he would get 2 psychics. If he retreats, he could get the Earthen Vessel to discard the psychic in his hand. That's one of what he needs. One more to Drizzling to do 240 damage. And even with Adrenaline Break, he will only be able to transfer 3 damage counters and only do 210. So, Stefan being damage short or even 10 damage short of being able to deal with this Iron Hands. And because pesky Cresselia or pesky Squid Tails don't have 73 speed, you cannot search for them with the Buddy Buddy Puppet.
Yeah, that is one downside to the Buddy Buddy Puppet. It feeds your Pokemon, they have a nice lunch, but it's only a small Pokemon, 70 HP or less are allowed to be drawn out off of those Buddy Buddies. Well, we see Stefan grab that Bravery Charm, this Earthen Vessel, as you said, Pablo, gonna discard this Psychic Energy here, putting that into the discard pile to be drawn back out with the Psychic Embrace, but is it enough?
I don't think it will be enough. Well, I think Stefan should have used that Professor tool earlier to block these enemies when they have them available right now. It would be in a fine position. He was so Iono, but it seemed to actually benefit Hendrik and work against him at that point.
Yeah, that's true. The Turo picking up any of your Pokemon and allowing you to reuse those energy for Stefan's side, but not going to be used there. Of course, we've already played our supporter per turn. In that Arvin, you only get 1 supporter per each turn for each player. So that Psychic Energy is now in the discard pile. Stefan's going to take a look at Andrew Hedrick's discard pile here now, but I mean, it's in the hands of Stefan, but if he cannot make it happen, Andrew Hedrick then has the chance to get this first seed between our players after it was looking so bright for so long here for Stefan.
Yeah, he was putting in so much work, but Hendrik has the Bulbasaur, no Stefan already playing that Arvin, so there's no way to him from using that Bulbasaur. Now Stefan does promote this game might come down to the confusion flip from the mind bend.
It's getting exciting here. Mind Bend, we have been seeing this frequently throughout the weekends here. Mind Bend, 60 damage here, but it also confuses your opponent's Pokemon as well. And you can't go too often as far as confusion goes, but if Andrew Hedrick is able to get out of it, it's going to be intense, Pablo, the ending of this game here. Of course, Adrenaline Brain also able to continue to count out these damage counters on the bench to stay alive. Bravery Charm coming down onto the Monkey Dory here, and we see the flip of this Iron Hands EX confused in the active position now for Andrew.
Oh my god, this game is so close. It will actually come down to a confusion flip. I think there's a Bulbasaur order. Andrew should still flee that probably to bring up the mana via the hardest Pokemon for Stefan to be able to. But what a team this is incredible. And it's gonna go down to much confusion point flip.
Yeah, that is brutal, Pablo. I mean, I know this game is going to be exciting, but not this exciting as far as we have here right now for Andrew. But of course, both of these players assess everything that their opponent has access to. What is in the discard pile here? How many energies is Andrew's discard pile here as well? How many questions is that? I mean, it really looks like one.
dia
it's general.
dia nantinya
The boss's orders,
cara
potential
cara
gameplay,
dia
gameplay, or not, or yes.
Get the card down. Fantasy is going to come up. As you said, Pablo, the most difficult Pokemon to get out of there. But
semakin berkurang
yeah,
bunyinya
the
setiap
Iron
kali.
Fist is still in a
Itu
state
biasanya
of
juga
review.
dia.
Here's the
Saya
corner.
sudah akan menguasai itu sampai dua lewat. Dia pun sakit kecil. Ini selalu ngambil giliran kedua.
Unlikely comeback.
Dia dengan ditaruh aja ability bisa ambil karena dia masuk dari tiap dua.
Just continue
Nanti di sini ada namanya lagi.
the odds. I mean, I cannot believe what I just witnessed here.
Itu
Every
bisa
single stack
dipakai.
against him. How many turns did
Dia
we
bisa
see
lihat
where not
dari
a single card
dari atas
hit the
deck.
watch
Kalau ada
here?
energi,
That's
gua
not
bisa
at all how
Dan
this
itu
deck
kalau punya dua
functions.
juga.
Everything was bounced
Dan
against him.
iya, dan di sini tuh udah ada api.
Fluttermane was
Jadi
ready
api
to go
itu bisa
on the
ketemu
bench
ke
there, but
plus
all of those
atau
energy locked up for Stefan, plus those last two prize cards.
Ini kalau giliran kedua,
And then it
Dragonnya
points was at the end for
bisa langsung
Andrew.
bikin.
Not even the win in this first
Tapi
game.
chat hobinya tinggi karena dia pakai kamar sendiri di dalam.
The Klefki, they were completely denying everyone's strategy, but
Dia
very
bisa
even that full control, but she took one turn.
Ini buang-buang
One turn of
Misalnya kalau nanti dia
one
pakai
turn, bonus, and all of a sudden he was back in despite having a 4-5 deficit.
bisa nyolong pakai press kan.
Yeah, Stefan, I'm not going all the way down to 2
Nanti dia colok sampai dia
so
tinggal satu
good
dan
here. His
bisa
head
sekarang
left to take this triple time where the last one was at 7. That means he
Dia
can
sebenarnya kan
score
mikir dia
here.
perubahannya.
I'm sure very happy to take 6. That is a heads flip or death roll, I suppose you could say, for Andrew heads of weak, which means the attack goes through. That enemy is determined here for Andrew heads. We got a nice little reaction there. Love to see it, but I can't believe that's what it came down to here, Pablo.
Yeah, I don't think I've seen him happier than that. The beginning of it, locked in. You the next game, how is he going to approach his
kurang dominasi, kurang dominasi.
who the fans to make something happen and very quickly because I think that was a very, very long
Dia
game.
biasanya lihat
Very long game of one, but just sticking it out, going it through here for our players. I feel like Hendrick just hold into this 4 times so far here. Of course, in the Pokemon trading market,
dia mau beli diri dia pakai
to start an active position here, so you have to reshuffle up, draw fresh 7 cards, try to get that Pokemon out. Each one that you take, you also going to take an additional card to Lenny and Tony. So Stefan up to, actually it's a 2.
Yeah.
Wow.
There's the Iron Man. I think Kendrick's hand is a little with the
With a dice roll, pulling out the winner in our game, but there is still just 22 minutes left on the clock for this race. Even though after 2 months, two additional cards of Savannah
di sini yang paling mahal
into the hand.
tapi kalau
Set up and a great card to see in the beginning. You guys be able to get out these Pokemon this time around.
banyak kan ya harus ini dari saat tidak kalau dia dipukul apa lagi itu langsung lari semuanya manfaatnya kayak ini kan nih air banyak air kayak gitu
He wasn't as fair as he tends to be treated like he locked down Hendrick's hold and once again
dia energinya tapi dia supaya gambarnya tapi dia kayak kayak ini kan harusnya pakai ini punya air ada energinya nah ini
That here, the flag here, and now you see that force spearhead off of that plate here. Oh, you love when it hits here, especially if it's for that force spearhead, which is going to start to help Andrew Hedrick out here. Especially, like you said, Pablo, if you can was last luster, you needed some sort of bailout. This is that bailout here. That's a shuffle. We're going to be able to see some more cards drawn into this lock. Start setting up let's see what he gets off this first draw.
Something there, very underwhelming cards, only one basketball, and a lot of, well, there are a lot of really good cards, but you don't want to see them out, and you definitely don't want to also have super undervalued research, a very key card, energy also, runs a, so tough decisions ahead for him.
Now, we're going to get energy
Dipilih nanti saya ajarkan kan ya.
these cards that are late game cards that have positions in the early game are so unusual sometimes for these lost box players because a card that you don't lost in the early game of counts of the match could be that one color needed later in the game. Like you had no stranger.
Misalnya musuh cuma harus satu basic thing. Dia kira orang
Continue on.
ini dia sendiri yang bisa gitu. Jadi kalau ini tuh kalau pakai merah itu jangan pernah minta persen. Saya
So that's what I'm saying. Stefan, active here now, just like we saw in the last game earlier on the bench. So that's going to allow Stefan to jump into this more of the refinements with lots of hands. Do you see anything else in the point here that's going to help Stefan out in this first couple of turns?
Yeah, I mean, he has Armin, he has plenty of options to choose from. He also has an Iota, who just through that 100 waves, he's capacity to find energies to attack and start building up his disc upon body popping, prioritize his setup. He needs to approach this game differently. He needs to be more careful with his bench and get that management so that he makes the best decisions in the threat. He needs to build that management or the needs to get that in this game. Something I want to highlight is every has that focus is for and they could potentially unlock himself, but he valued the message get to play.
Here for the trading card they're attached to a Pokemon. With this card, you have to utilize the move on the cards. So this is going to be that evolution. That's what I mentioned earlier out. Force the on Ivanov onto the bench here, allowing for these future refinements, setting up the board state, stabilizing here. It's going to end the turn, of course, as the losing half off that typical position. Shuffling up the deck here, maybe Hedrick is going to take this next turn down.
Potentially utilize but it's also a ability, so you have to time it well.
No energy attachment there. There's back over to Stefan and Armin being played again. This card is text so much more consistent here. As you see Stefan play time and time again. Chaining these Armins every single turn, getting him some fun, getting that item card that you need. It's going to be the Earthen Vessel this time around, Carnivore EX. Hitting the discard panel leads to psychic energy being drawn out of the deck. Then we're going to start seeing those psychic energy with the discard panel just as much from these refinements.
Is picking up the pace, he's playing a little bit faster, which is really good to see. And this to start making things happen. We need really good cards on these refinements to start applying pressure, start taking private, and he needs to let go of normally would have, but he needs to start attacking. We could see the fire once again, but that would be exposed. We could also see an aggressive card where he has so many options. Worst case, will have to play one line against him.
The next ball from a Story, Ultra Ball, Carnivore EX comes down now on the board. Fluttermane is going to join us this time around, Pablo, as well as last week. And Stefan is going to get out of that flood. He is the flood domain after that retreat to put an additional energy card into the discard pile. Of course, that's the energy needed to place under that Monkey Dory in the future to provide this energy. But we're going to start off with that Hex Pearl. Once again, 90 damage dealt to that active I Am Hands EX. Surmounting that damage being put on it, and then of course 2 damage counters additionally being placed on the bench, stabilizer for Andrew.
6 damage counters on there. The clutter from the side gets raised. There's the audit, and now it's on Andrew. Now he's able to potentially utilize Green and Ninja, establish that on the bench to be able to use his abilities. We might find with the Prime Catcher, make some damage as Andrew needs to react to what Stefan is doing. We're gonna see that Prime Catcher, and we're gonna get our first flower selection of this game too.
Yes, the Lost Zone does have 2 cards in it at this moment in time, but we're going to flower select for an additional card to the hand. One to the Lost Zone, thanks to that Prime Catcher from that Korea into the active position. Of course, that pumping as well. How that being used here to shuffle some cards back into the deck. Andrew.
Yeah, Quebec maximize his chance of getting one off of this one flower select that he has. There's no other option at the moment. Could start, so yes, those 2 abilities to find on their cards and make something. I could not tell what the other card is. I think it's a switching card, so it's going to be no bundle of joy this time.
This time around, going into the Lost Zone, we have again going into the next battle. Now we're going to use here for we'll give you the basic Pokemon out of your deck, and line up all of these resources out of this Pokemon that we left in the deck here. Great Greninja, the Comfey, as well as the Greninja, all at the top of the deck.
Yeah, you would know it, but this actually is Hendricks first. He hasn't been able to figure out what are his 5 cards, what does he have access to, what does he not have access to. That also makes every colorless experiment selection, every flower selection, a bit more difficult because you choose one gives the energy to your set of offers. The only one you have access to is the deck. So, but still against the road.
Pablo, but I feel like that's where Andrew Hendrick always performs the best for some reason. But yeah, looking for the deck here, making sure we can practice all these resources. This is why we say these both of these decks here, because we have pretty much all the cards in your design chest from the left of your deck, but you have cards like that, that both these players know exactly how to do that.
The next true between A-Roxanne and
This moment is definitely very important for the future potentially. It's going to be a lot of that. Going to the Lost Zone and seeing these things now in the Lost Zone. When that's all bringing stability, going into this also looking for the 7 and the 10 in the future for the Lost Zone. Those other cards in the deck from Andrew, Stefan, still with that early deck in the future here to start off with the first card to Yes, you see that here right now, Stefan, energy is putting them at the bottom of but the discard pile there. Now the accelerate onto the field here from the psychic embrace. You have to take those 2 damage counters for each energy that you apply to the board. That area having that energy retreat cost. So those energies are going straight back to the discard pile now. Reactivated for that ability to active position. Now, so far, those energy remain for the next curl.
This more ability to try and capture, having these already going to take the first energy, which is really good for him. And he doesn't allow him to get the company will not be able to utilize if we could, the left two from out the abilities for Hedrick, he's getting much worse position than he was before.
Yeah, it's unfortunate you're having to see your Pokemon go down slowly here, so far and build up and that lock is in place with that fluttering in the active position here, rid of lock out and that buddy toss in place here so down the Pokemon with the deck in the deck as well. Get these Pokemon out of the deck so that you start drawing these small cards that are valuable here. So that active position now with those 4 damage counters and still very there with those damage counters as well. Lots of just that 4 here for Andrew Hedrick. What did we see here from the end for Andrew Hedrick to play out? Is it the optimal
Generally with that answer, switching into anything and operate happening and it's both teams off the fun take the first 5 cards. So if the fun wins this game and it all comes down to whoever's on the prizes in the I'm not sure that the booty will help over that causes that set. It's just so powerful.
I agree, although that carried so much weight in this matchup, but here's the bond goes. Moving quickly to another 5 card, only 4 left to take here to take this game down and tie things up. Exactly these players. Fluttering, that text still there to help the stabilize. It's just going to be another pass now coming to Hedrick.
Very thorough opportunity to use his refinements, make sure that his hand is more in the possible now. Once the fun takes this prize, Andrew will be able to finally play the time that he's been holding on to this whole time. So we could see that really give him a little bit of life, but the front pressure ball to no more he will not be able to use any flower select the vacuum and the vacuum stuff to maybe start getting started easier of soldiers, but it's looking great for Andrew and he's to utilize it and take prizes as quickly as
Exactly, as we saw in the last game as well as just like Steele there just the card right at the end there, unfortunately. Because as much as I did in the last game, it turned out differently than I thought it would. But yes, on this path, for example, if we could let to take down Hedrick still sitting at 6, let's see if the turbo aspect of this turbo loss prospect can start to kick in here and Andrew Hedrick can start making something happen. It looks like a difficult decision here for Andrew on who to promote, but that someday is going to be an active airport still shuts down from that fluttering ability.
Good contact strategy, which is great. Doesn't look back in, but no targets. There's some stadiums, there's no 2 cards, so can't even play the cards to bring himself to 6 and maybe find another one, get to 7 or 8, activate the match game. That is not an option. The only play he has right now is to upset, and it seems like he's not going to try it.
We know. Take a quick look at the hand once again here for Andrew. Looks like it's just going to be a pass once again over to Stefan, starting off the turn here now. Let's see what the top deck is here. It's going to be that hand. Not so here, but it's fodder to every one of these refinements into the Cresselia as well as
Yeah, Professor Turo, first event, we could actually now start seeing the spirit of action, make something happen, allows the fans to pay prizes. Just that little bit happens, just down to do that. Isn't ready for bosses for this player. From the garden area, captures the fun, takes the knockouts, makes the point to go. He gets to get that boss, and he sees that his hand is in it might be that hand decides to overdraw Stanley's turn, but it seems like we're just going to see an attack. No first play, anything. No first 10, nothing. Very significant one, just continuing to extra add to the moment.
Yep, counter catcher, heavy ball remaining in the prize cards as the last two here. Stefan did do a refinement there. American ones behind as well as an Arvin from Stefan and Andrew Hedrick. Happy to choose who to promote now after that knockout with another template going down. Stefan is narrowing out this team as that just tied it up between these players. Andrew Hedrick will continue to play out these turns here. Pioneers, yes, does have those two energies attached. Of course, needs 4 total here to bring out an attack with the Ninja Wisdom come down. Now, of course, off this nest ball as well.
Henry will finally play this thing and he'll only 4 cards in the loss of so not yet online. And very far good 6 cards to get to that. It is possible there's some lost factors and focus stops that could allow Hedrick to pull this off, but it's looking very green. There's no information from the line. Andrew Hedrick.
Yeah, but against the ropes, we're finally going to see a pop of iron cords coming out of the woodwork as well as this rock sand between both of our players. So we're going to see the shuffle up here from both our players. But Andrew Hedrick is going to be able to draw into 6 cards. Stefan only going to have 2.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, that there's the potential to be something to try to slow down Stefan. He has a lot of speed. It can take a few hits from the flutter ring and survive the hit from the Garden X, which is will be shut down. Now, as you can only 2 cards, but does have those 2 3 so Ninja doesn't knock you out. It might be okay, but they want to see more cartridges. Wow. And finds lost back and can't find the reclamation cards to get the lawsuit going. That's hitting his discard pile.
Hitting this card pile, we're netting 2 items to the ante now for Andrew Hedrick with his manual attack.
I believe we already saw that.
Yeah, I think it was. We've been through a lot of times. Pretty sure this is our first episode here. But after that, it's passed over to Stefan now. He's lining up his retail here. Yeah.
Damage with that warning screen onto their hands and Stefan will be able to win game 2 of this Grandmaster final.
The scream tail coming in with a nice, loud, roaring scream. Our crowd cheering here now. Stefan Ivanov going to take down this game 2. That means, Papa, we're going into game 3 between these players. Once again, everything on the line here. And now we're at the last game. So look at all those Pikachus over there. Is it going to be the 3 feet here? Stefan Ivanov being able to take down 3 North America International Championships or player on the line. Person in 2022, already a 3-time regional champion. So skilled at this game. And he seems to have the luck on his side in so many of these matchups as well. We'll have to see if that comes into play for him. Once again, they would get to that champion title. But if anything is learned from these games, it's going to be tough.
Yeah, it's all about that ability to handle this game. What are we just X-Hero every single turn pretty much until this final knockout fight. Detail that midnight player will be so key. But I gotta give props from Queen Clint. Yeah, I think Clint holds the to this matchup. Yes, that was completely
Plenty with the keys, exactly, Papa. She was identified there in the match of the huge game 2 here in this matchup, and so we have seen it. It has locked down Andrew Hendricks so many of these turns, was able to get one out in the first game, but now we're into game 3 between these players, and these initial turns between both of them is going to be so important. But this hardcore EX deck is built for consistency here. We'll have to see what the starting Pokemon is here. Unfortunately, now, once again, for Andrew Hedrick, already has a single mulligan. Let's see if we can get a basic Pokemon in this hand now. It is nothing going into this game 3 with 2 mulligans. That means the bond is going to have 2 additional cards in hand to really affect the consistency you're talking about already in Gargoyle EX.
Very pleased at this point, getting 2 extra cards at least to start with the final match, game 3, and with such dominant performances with Lefty. Obviously lost game 1, but every single time, I'm about to wonder what game 1 and game 2, and game 1 was only lost at the very, very end. So with time running out, since we have third mulligan, it was to slow down things and get ahead of the prizes. He doesn't need to win this game. He just needs to make sure that when time and the turns run out, he's ahead of the prize cards and playing his third international title.
Oh, it's coming down to this here, Pablo. Less than 10 minutes on the clock. We're still showing up here because Andrew has had 3 mulligans. Let's see if we can finally for Andrew. I do see one in hands here, so it's going to be 3 mulligans. That hamster is more than happy to see what is he up
Will they have that energy to get into now? And will be the one to start to see a lot of offense in the prizes bubble rush for Henry. Now, those bubble rush get in the way of both players' setup, and Andrew choosing to go first so that on the off chance that the back didn't start with Sluggerman or Lefty, he gets to flower select.
Yeah, finally we get some flower selecting happening here for Andrew. That's what we need to see here. We also saw that stuff go off with that Iron Thorn and energy and another Monday in the Discord pile. Now that's it for those out.
One flower select, I think all 3 played is already have the energy to yeah, I have the other one. Things are going to be well forced upon in this final match.
Because he's starting to something, and that is it. No, not a single card laid there, just discard off of a failed post stop. Once again, very confident. Going into the deck here, forced to card, but loaded up to the additional draw off of this moment. Although, like I said, this deck is built for consistency here. So you see valuable cards in this initial setup for Stefan, as long as nothing too late game. What do you think about it?
I think Henry with a sort of I don't believe that he was but I mean that's already in now. Every dog is in the camp, but the farm only has a human supporter for turn, so could actually have those forces get hurt at the bottom in abilities completely locked. This could be bad news.
Yeah, that is true. Andrew did go first here into this game. Stefan is going second. That does unlock the ability for you to use a supporter card and, of course, attack as well. You're going second here. Unfortunately, yeah, Andrew can see that.
Alright, so it's only over the hand over. But you want to play that, you'll go ahead with a fire. At least one player will go for the focus up first. Dogs find the netball. Roxanne gone could play her role, although we have 7 minutes left. I'm not sure we're going to see the players going down to 3 prizes at this point.
Exactly. Roxanne in the Discord now. That bonus is experience now.
The pace in this game 3,
Yes.
he knows he's been at a disadvantage in the game. He's the one that has given up the first prize every single time. 6 minutes on the clock. Very interesting how both players approach this situation. We see Hedrick with a top choice here with the call.
Yeah, this is a totally different game plan You gotta make sure that you stabilize enough to be able to get some prize cards here. Andrew Hedrick at least being able to work with forces experiment. It's gonna be that rescue board, or sorry, what did I say? Rescue board?
It is rescue board hitting the lobby.
Yeah, okay, I thought I said it wrong.
Yeah, no, that's right.
Going into the last one, you're bringing us up to the three now. Next ball plays here for Andrew Hedrick. Bringing out one of these bench Pokemon here. Of course, this is the initial turn search for Andrew Hedrick. So I have all these Pokemon that we have.
Yeah, make sure we double check what's on it. This is private resources. I have actually already a club. He isn't that, but he was never fight. Andrew Hedrick was anyone. Beat him by powering off that Iron Hand, winning with it, but does he have enough time to pull it off here? That's the fact that take the advantage that he's had every single game. This is how he beat Andrew Hedrick's teammate in top 8.
Yeah, this is daunting Pokemon Cats when you're in this position for Neptunes, especially after going through these previous 2 games with these players. It is going to be close, Pablo. Here, so Andrew needs to pull out all of the stops here to take this EM3 to become a champion at NAIC 2024. So what you're seeing here, we are making sure to look this down as early as possible. We put the hands ready to write down everything in the prize cards here as well.
Yeah, you should be offensive. You have the table right. It's very key. Make sure you know what. Choose the Greninja after Pokemon from the nest. I'm going down and left this turn. I wonder what Hedrick has in store for us. Did you have the Bright Catcher perhaps to start drawing more cards? I'm not so sure.
Well, that Radiant Greninja coming out onto the field, that means we can attach to it here for Andrew Hedrick. How that's going like this as we saw in the last game, that Polaris experiment back out into the deck. Add to that consistency so we can get into more of those Polaris experiment. Give yourself the best chance possible to draw into it.
And knows that the game probably not going to come down to a fan. He thinks the fan will end up taking 3 prizes before he gets used it, so doesn't even bother putting it back. And now it comes to Fantasy. Sees the Greninja in play. Play that for Aroma for triple purely. I think this is the first time we're going to see this. This is the perfect setup. Triple rounds into triple purely into triple refinement. Not go better forced to fun in this final game 3.
There's been so much argument about the A-spec of choice. Of course, Hyper Aroma allowing you to add so much consistency there as we see here. Three exchange Pokemon coming out of the deck onto the field, allowing Saban to get all of those earlier refinements out into the stack of their hands in a huge way here. Such a valuable card. That's why those Dark Phoenix can only play one in your deck. And it's going to see the utility. Finally, here, Pablo, it's paid off for us.
Yeah, perfect setup for Hyper Aroma in game 3 of the finals. Stefan must be very pleased. He's going to get a brand new hand with Iono. Still has 2 more refinements to be utilized. He wants to make sure he has access to the mana here to protect his bench potentially as that moving spread of Greninja is there. And even though the moving starts it down, it's a Polaris with yellow package that would allow Hedrick to get to 7 cards in the loft zone and activate that Mirage Boost.
Psychic energy, multiple psychic energy. You put these to this card pile here to draw into these cards, and the rolls going into the hand. Here for Saban, 3 psychic in total now in the discard pile here for Saban.
2 minutes and a half left on the clock. I think it's going to come down to who is ahead in the prizes and might just be by a single prize. You see the Artisan. I would be very surprised to see any come down that's not the mana fee to help protect Stefan's bench. But no, it's not the mana fee. It's actually the Flurming with the mana fee prize. Did I miss it? Oh, it's mana fee in the deck. It is.
Yeah, no, it definitely is in there. It's been drawn into a couple of times, but the Flutterby is going to be the choice here for Stefan. It's not prize, that was the decision here to be made off of this Artisan. Artisan allows you to get some of these basic Pokemon, no full boxes down, and Flutterby is definitely one of those. But it also allows you to bring out another Comfey from the deck, thin that deck out, but he is still enacted with that mischievous block in the active position. Pokecare is huge.
Big Poke here does not find Polaris. Heather will not be able to play that card. Does find a positive order to potentially unlock himself out of the Klepto. Will be able to Cloud Select, but not getting more cards and lots of the colors. Let's only keep to one guy. No, cannot flowers
Okay, woo, that was.
You can see Andrew Henry was just getting ahead of himself at that point. 50 colors, but a little too late.
A little too late, but at least we're stacking this lost zone up with cards now. That's going to be 4 in the lost zone here. We're going to see this switch that was in the hands to get another flower selected out. We're starting to get a little bit of this turbo here, even though we didn't get to see that closest experiment. At least that last disorders was able to get out of that lock. Switch card going into the lost zone here. Grammar is going to run down now onto the field as well as that manual attachment from the hands onto this Radiant Greninja.
And it looks like Henrik will be able to take a prize card here. That innocently is available. Lots of provisions activated with 4 or 5 cards in lots of at this point in time. Andrew Henrik will be the first one to take a prize card. 30 seconds on the clock.
Yes, let's see how this cheers. Indeed, this is the first time we've seen Cramorant fully unlocked here. Thanks that lost zone up to 4 cards, and it's coming in clutch here for Andrew Henry. The first time Andrew has won the prize race, being first to that prize card. Now it's over to Stefan here, fluttering into active position, flying through these cards.
Yeah, so time has been called. Stefan is turn 0. Andrew Henrik will be turn 1. Stefan turn 2, and Andrew will close us out. So Stefan needs to take a prize card here and needs to try his best to stop Henrik from taking any more prize cards, as he will be the one to have the last turn.
Yeah, this is a nail biter here now. We're into turns here. 3 additional turns between our players. Stefan is the first, and we'll take the second. Stefan and then Andrew. That's it. Here, Pablo. So we're going to have to go through all of these cards here, bring out all the stops from both of our players' decks, and hope for the best. So Artisan going to be used first here from Stefan.
Yeah, we're going to see that manually probably to make sure that we cannot get 2 prize cards too easily during the next turn, even then it's just another attachment on the Greninja. Now Stefan finds himself here, so we'll have access to Counter Catcher. I think Stefan would love to go Counter Catcher, kill the Greninja with Gardevoir EX. He knows that Gardevoir EX is completely out of range for Hendrick. There's no Pokemon in place that can knock it out. And now we are in time, right? There's no more time pressure in the sense that time is not running out, but both players need to still maintain their base to make sure that, like, just because time has been called, now we have infinite time to think about everything that we need to do. So this is very important for both players to keep up with that. We have the refinement, there's still plenty of things to do, and it's on Stefan to make something happen, to make Andrew Hedrick with a knockout somehow.
Exactly. That's what it's going to come down to. Manaphy now placing that veil over the benched Pokemon here, protecting it from that Radiant Greninja. First refinement, what you see, Pablo?
Counter Catcher being drawn, so that could mean that Radiant Greninja will go down the turn. Now, the fun did refinement away at Gardevoir EX. You have to imagine the other one is a little, I can't quite tell. I think it is. That should be able to get a knockout, or could also try to maintain the lock, take a knockout on a conflict with that Water Main in the active position to make it difficult for Henrik to find more resources, but he needs to slow Henrik however he can.
Yep, swing heavy ball being used here from Stefan, taking a look at all 6 of these prize cards, making sure to note them down. He's going to have to shuffle them in a different order here coming up, but now has knowledge of the cards that are in there. Whatever was already missing or not accounted for has now been accounted for. So Stefan is fully aware of all the resources, both in his card pile, in the deck, stuck in the prize cards from thanks to that swing heavy ball.
Here now, let's see what Stefan can do here. What is he thinking about? What Pokemon will he want to target? Which attacker will he want to use? So many things to consider. If he chooses to go for the Water Main, will stop Granite from attacking, but with the damage going on from that psychic ability, will allow him to attach one with water and one time attack Water Main. Only one price protection the mana protection that you were mentioning, but still opportunity to take that prize card with the benefit of preventing more abilities in the active spot.
Exactly, locking things down here, at least for the active position, with that midnight fluttering. But those accelerated energy does mean exactly what you said, those 6 damage counters being placed onto that flutter main now. Thanks to that Gardevoir EX that was evolved into this turn, a big, bulky, 310 HP Pokemon. Professor Kuro is going to be played now here to pick up that Drizzling, and then we're going back into the deck off of this Nest Ball.
The ball was, I think we're going to see the Montessori start using that at great ability. Does that put Flutter Main in quite a low number of Flutter Main's HP? So there's no way Stefani is trying to make sure he has the possibility to take multiple prize cards at once by manipulating the damage and possibly taking 2 prizes in one turn, despite Hedrick only having single prize Pokemon in play.
Damage counters here from the second phase, but you are able to manipulate them at least a little bit here from a couple of different moves. So the Midori being used here now from Stefan. Thanks to that Darkness energy being attached to it, 3 damage counters are going to go over to Andy Hedrick's side of the field. Now it's just going to be a tough decision for Stefan to decide where those damage counters are going to be going here.
Yeah, it leaves them on the active parameter so that you can hex go for an alcohol with a 19 case and start piling up the damage on the coffee to try and open up the possibility for another adrenaline-free usage plus the damage counters and get an extra start somewhere down the line. This is coming down to the wire.
Yeah, either way, you gotta make sure that at the end of these turns, you are the person ahead in prize cards. That's where Stefan is trying to get at this point in time, but it is ruling these decisions that have to be made with our players here in these back-to-back turns. And so far, Kramer has been the MVP here for Andrew Hedrick. Being able to take that first prize card now is going to take these 90 damage counters here for damage in general from Fluttermane onto the Cramorants, and that Funke on the bench being ticked up to 5 damage counters.
Now, Stefan did not take a prize card this turn. That means if Andrew manages to take the prizes, he can be able to go very far ahead. Now, there's a lot of switch cards. I think switch card is the key part here to heal off some of that damage here, heal off some of this damage here, so that we're going to bring the non-combo into giving Stefan 2 prizes to put him ahead. There's also the threat of the stabilize. Fluttermane is preventing abilities in the active, but there is a forward in hand. We still have Pokestop, we still have Lost Vacuum. Andrew still has some play and still has access to that Prime Catcher to potentially activate his abilities as well.
Well, we're going to see the Arctos being bumped for this Pokestop to energy and the Nest Ball. The energy, of course, going to the discard pile. Nest Ball to the hand here for Andrew Hedrick. But like you said here, Pablo, this is the most turbo we have seen this deck being used so far here in these 3 games between these players. And now you get to see so much potential that is unlocked. Even if it's just a little bit of an edge here on Stefan, there is a lot of potential in these future turns for Andrew Hedrick. Lost Zone is already up to 5 cards here so far, and Nest Ball is going to be played as well for this turn.
Yeah, Andrew also has the possibility to use